Yay, oh, hey, oh, hey. Welcome back to Reclaim Within. Today we are talking about something that is so simple, yet so deeply transformative. The recipe for remembering the sacred in our daily lives. It's easy to think of the sacred as something that we have to seek out, something hidden or distant that we have to work really, really hard to access. But the truth is, the sacred is already within you. It's always been here. The problem is we forget. We get busy, we get pulled into the noise of the world, and we lose sight of the deep well of wisdom, peace, and presence that has always been available to all of us. So today, I want to share a simple 7-step recipe to help you return to the sacredness within yourself. No complicated ingredients, no perfection required, just a gentle invitation to slow down, breathe, and reconnect. So let's get into it. The first ingredient in remembering your sacred is coming back to your heart. Your heart can hold it all. It really can. It can hold your joy, your sorrow, your confusion, clarity. Nothing needs to be pushed away. Nothing needs to be fixed. The heart is a vessel that connects us with our soul. And one of my favorite Rumi quotes, I think of this all the time, is the wound is where the light enters you. And I think of this as the places and the spaces where we don't think we're going to be able to handle it, or there's hurt that we've experienced that have been so intense. And so we turn away from the heart. We run away into our minds. We run away to fear. We run away to judgment. We run away to resistance. And in doing so, we make up these crazy stories that we can't handle it, that it's going to be too much, that if I let myself feel this, I'll feel it forever. And so nothing needs to be fixed. And to return to the heart, it doesn't have to be a big, crazy production. It can be simple. Just pause, close your eyes, place your hand on your heart, and just breathe. Let yourself feel your heartbeat. And the more you let yourself slow down, the more you might let yourself just be with whatever is present right now without judgment. Your heart is more than just a vessel that pumps. They now know heart math. Go look it up. It's so beautiful. The studies they've done on the heart, it has a wider circumference capacity, energy body, electromagnetic field, I think is the proper word, than our brains. Our hearts are also so wise. And there's an intuitive knowing when you're connected to the heart that knows how to transform all the pain, all the hurt, all the confusion into wisdom. There's a deep knowing. And so trust that your heart can hold it all. Or just play with those words, even in your day-to-day. My heart can hold it all. And see what it feels like, see what it brings up in you. Second ingredient is to integrate our hurt into wisdom. So to be real, life does not come without its bruises. All of us have moved through some crazy things. I have worked with enough people at this point in my life where I understand now that we all go through things that are not the most pleasant all the time. But what's hard, I have a whole soapbox on this, so I'll try to keep it brief. But the problem isn't that we go through hard things. That's not the issue. The issue is that our cultural story has not allowed for us to understand that it's okay to go through hard things, and that hard things, when we learn how to learn from the experiences that we go through, both the beautiful, amazing, enriching parts of our lives and also the really hard, hurtful, harmful spaces and places we've all been through, to different degrees. When we learn how to integrate those experiences through the heart, again, going back to the heart can hold it all, what happens is that hurt integrates into wisdom. Short story, but I was at this beautiful retreat one time, and this man who had a crazy story. He grew up in a cult. I don't even want to go into it. It was really a horrible upbringing. And he escaped, like literally escaped. And just horrible things that he had to go through. But when he played on the guitar and he sang, I could feel all of the hurt and all of the pain. And I could feel the light of his soul just pouring through the room. And he was singing in his song about what he had gone through. It is just such a beautiful example of being able to take the hurt and integrate it into something beautiful in the world, integrate it into wisdom. Compost, right? When you first get it, it looks like poo. But when you learn how to work with it, you can change it into compost, which actually is a beautiful thing and helps things grow. All right, I'll get off my soapbox. But the sacred path is not about bypassing pain. I think it's a really important piece of this. It's about integrating it. It's about learning to sit with it, listen to it, allow it to teach you. Your pain has something to show you. It is where the light enters you again. So let it soften you and expand your capacity for both love and understanding. Let it alchemize into wisdom. Let it allow for you to grow your capacity. The more that I've sat with my own hurt, the more that it's shifted my whole entire being. And I've learned that I can hold so much more than I ever could have previously to allowing for myself to sit with it. Third ingredient, slow walks and deep breathing. So here's a really simple one. Walk slower. Breathe deeper. Seriously. We spend so much time rushing around. But when is the last time that you simply walked, not to get anywhere, not to accomplish something, but just to feel your feet on the earth? Take a walk today, even if it's just for 5 minutes, and just allow for yourself to deepen into your environment. Feel the air on your skin, feel the ground under your feet. Inhale deeply and let your breath just remind you that it is so sacred just to be alive. Ingredient number 4, marvel at the clouds and soak up the laughter. The sacred isn't just found in deep moments of meditation or ritual or ceremony or feeling the depths of your pain. It's actually in the ordinary. It's in the way the clouds float across the sky. It's in the way that your best friend laughs so hard that they snort. Or in my case, your husband just is in another room and he just starts laughing his face off. It's my favorite thing. Or it's in, kids do this so well, but I was out with our kids and they were just enthralled with spider webs because they had that dew on them. And I was like, this is the sacred. This is it. It's getting lost in how many spider webs you can find that have dew on them. It's actually in the tiny, fleeting moments that make life so unbelievably beautiful. So allow yourself to marvel. Let yourself soak in the joy, because wonder, that's so sacred. Ingredient number 5, offer grace to yourself and others. One of the most essential ingredients in this entire recipe is grace. We are all human. We are all messy. We are all figuring it out. Offer grace to others. Let them be human without your judgment. It might be real hard sometimes, I know. Especially when you're like, but they did this, 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 and this, and they did this thing too. I get it. I totally understand. But honestly, they're figuring it out. They're being a messy human. They're imperfect. And most importantly, and this is actually even, I think probably more important, is offer grace to yourself. The more grace you give to yourself, the easier it'll actually be to be able to hone it in for someone else. You do not have to be perfect to be sacred. You just have to allow yourself to be real. Ingredient 6, laugh at yourself and accept the fullness of this life. Listen, if you have not laughed at yourself today, you are taking life way too seriously. And I've done it. There are so many days where I don't laugh at myself or I don't sing, which is a really big indicator for me that I'm like, need to get back in touch. Because I'll sing sometimes and I don't even realize I'm doing it. But laugh at the fact even that you got grumpy. Laugh at the fact that you got grumpy 3 times today. Laugh at the fact that you just spilled something on your shirt. I mean, why not? Laugh at how your brain spirals over the smallest things. Because guess what? Life is messy and it's just going to keep getting messier. Or not. Maybe not. Maybe not. I might edit that part out. It's going to keep being messy. Maybe it'll get messier. I don't really know. Anyways, that's just what makes life beautiful. And so learning to dance with it, and we're not all going to do it perfectly all the time. And sometimes you're just really in a mood and you can't find the laughter. It's not going to be there. Okay. But it really is a cool way to tap into the sacred and remember that sacredness of life. All right. Last ingredient is to dance with life. Not just literally, though, yes, that too. Dance with life. Let yourself move with the rhythm of the moment. You don't even have to know all the steps. You don't have to choreograph it perfectly. You just have to trust that life is showing you exactly what you need to see, exactly what you need to feel. It is actually just in the moment, dancing with what is. It's not meant to be controlled. It's meant to be lived. Life. So this is your recipe for remembering the sacred. I use this recipe and I forget this recipe, and then I use this recipe and then I forget the recipe. And then I'm like, wait, why is life so hard right now? And then I'm like, oh, I forgot the recipe again, right? So return to your heart, integrate your wisdom, breathe deeply, marvel at the small things, offer grace, laugh, 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 and dance. The sacred is not outside of you. It is inside of you, and it is already here. If this episode resonated with you, I would love to hear from you. So please message me or comment or share this with someone who might need to remember the recipe for remembering their sacredness. And if you want to dive deeper, you can check out my mentorships or my courses. And I'd love to be able to walk with you on this path. So until next time, keep remembering that you're sacred. Keep breathing. Keep dancing. So as far as my mentorship and my course goes, right now I have 3 spots left for a 3-month container on a transformational journey for mentoring. I really love working with couples. I also love working one-on-one with people. And the idea here is to work with you on what it is that you're desiring to transform and help you both see yourself and also help you keep dancing with the sacredness of life. I think so many times what I witness is like we get so serious and it gets so difficult and we have to work so hard. And that's just not my way. That is not how I see us shifting. We want to learn how to build something different, build something new. And so that's what I like to do with people is I like to hold a different perspective and a different opportunity for what you could grow into. And yeah, it's the best game of Pass It On ever. And then secondly, I am launching my Building Inner Kingdoms course. And the first date is April 10th. It's a Thursday. It's going to be Thursday, if you're on East Coast, 10 a.m. to 12:30. I'm asking for 2.5 hours. We might not use the whole thing, but if we don't, you can use that rest of the time for self-care, which would be great. But what I'm teaching are concepts that were originally inspired by the creation methodology, which I've been studying for almost a decade now. And it's really been my path and the tools I've used to help me build my own inner kingdom so that I feel like I am living a life of honor, dignity, and respect as much as possible. And I mean, I've gone through some really rough things the last year, and I still feel like I have this solid inner kingdom. So I know that what I'm teaching works because I'm living proof. So I'm sharing all the concepts that I've used to help me navigate my own inner kingdoms. But also, the thing I've learned with this work is, and I've seen this so intensely, is that we want to be in deeper relationships with people in our lives. Relationships are the thing that matters most. And yet we don't have a lot of tools that we've inherited to actually learn how to navigate the complexity of this human experience, so that we can actually build relational experiences of excitement and honor and dignity and respect. And so all of these concepts, I have been teaching them into my communities that I'm helping to nurture, so that people can actually be better at being in relationship with one another and actually have a more understanding and more depth for what's actually happening in our human experience, what we've been programmed to understand, and actually how do we need to navigate this differently. So not only is this a course to build your own inner kingdom, but it's also going to help your relationships in your life, help you build community in your life. I don't know, I'm very excited about it, as you can tell. And so that'll be starting April 10th. It's a 10-week course at the moment. So I'm trying to not grow it too much bigger, but I just keep having more and more things I want to add. So we'll see. But I've got really beautiful people that have gone through it in the past. And so this is just a different version of it. If you've done it before and you want to do it again, reach out and we'll work out a little deal. But yeah, I'd love to have as many people as they want to come. So please let me know if that's something of interest. I can send you more information. I hope you guys have a really wonderful day, and thanks for spending your time with me. It is the most precious resource we have. And so I really don't take that lightly. I am so deeply honored. Thank you for listening and joining in today. Bye.